so that the world is going to be short power. And to power these data companies, you cannot have just this intermittent power like wind and solar. You need dispatchable power because you can't turn off and on these data centers. And so it's a combination. Shrinking demographics. These countries will rapidly develop robotics and AI and technology. And if the promise, I didn't say it's going to happen, but if the promise of all that transforms productivity, which most of us think it will, we'll be able to elevate the standard of living of countries and the standard of living of individuals, even with shrinking populations. And so the paradigm of negative population growth is going to be changing. And the social problems that one will have in substituting humans for machines is going to be far easier in those countries that have declining populations. And so for those countries that have rising populations, the answer will be education, and so rapidly develop. For those countries that do not have a foundation of rule of law or education, they're going to be left. That's where the divide's going to get more and more extreme. And unfortunately,
thank you. Good to be here.
Senator Biden, it's nice to have you here. As the youngest member of the Senate, the one, therefore, who may expect the longest career there, I wonder if you'd say to us, since it's clear that you're not corrupt and you got elected, why should people think that the system produces corrupt results when there you are?
Well, I'm not sure you should assume I'm not corrupt, but thank you for that, though. The system does produce corruption, and I think implicit in the system is corruption, when in fact, whether or not you can run for public office, and it costs a great deal of money to run for the United States Senate, even from a small state like Delaware, you have to go to those people who have money, and they always want something.
President Trump, I'm so humbled that you would be here. President Obama never came to the hood, so to speak, right? President Joe Biden, he went to the big NAACP dinner, but he never came to the hood.
Going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust, and we will save over $7 trillion a year. 6 to 8% of global GDP is wasted by the friction of the trust industry that's necessary when you have dual entry accounting. With triple entry accounting, which is what a blockchain is, we get rid of all of that friction. It's a beautiful future.
Like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, it could be a tool to enslave humanity. And if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity. And as an American, I'm obviously rooting for the one that's on the side of freedom.
Bitcoin is an international asset. And also, I do believe the role of crypto is, it's digitizing gold.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of the huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. We will, and if we could have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem.
Chinese bank ICBC has been hit by a ransomware attack, and the U.S. Treasury market, as a result of that, has been disrupted. This, according to the Financial Times. We're getting more right now with Bloomberg's Shonali Bassick. Shonali, what do we know?
Listen, we have the Financial Times now reporting that ICBC, one of China's largest banks here, was hit with a ransomware attack. And remember, they're a very significant intermediary in the Treasury market. The SIFMA has told its members that this has been part of the reason here that the system is kind of clogged up, if you will, during that auction that we saw a little bit before. The attack had prevented ICBC, according to the Financial Times, from settling Treasury trades on behalf of other market participants. A large executive at a major bank also telling the paper that such a large party on the fixed income clearing corp creates major concerns, potentially impacting the liquidity of Treasury markets. Now,
it was not just a poor auction. It was absolutely lousy, and you know, when the dealers have to step in to save a Treasury auction, that's a rare occurrence. And
welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And guys, please like and subscribe if you do like what you're listening to. Please inform your friends and family and spread it all over social media. It is imperative that we get back to learning finances and understand how the world really works, because once we understand how the world really works, we understand that it is all planned out. Now, I want to thank those who purchased the books Cryptoteacher and the New World Order book. Remember, the New World Order book shows you how the world really works, and it is definitely time for you to wake up out of that sleep, especially in the times that we're in right now. And 2024 is going to be one of our most entertaining years. We have the presidential election. We have the drums are beating. We have the emerging markets going to be flipping the switch on the fourth industrial revolution. Now, we had the Fed signal rate cuts, but remember, guys, they haven't cut rates yet. So we know the master magicians are about to set up that distraction. So therefore, they can cut rates while we still have inflation. And in the fourth quarter, once the election is over, we know the movie begins. And also, guys, I want to thank those who purchased the 3 Kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, much love to those who donate to the Cash App, Patreon. Much love. Keep it coming. Guys, if you're not a part of the Patreon, make sure you're donating to the channel through the actual Cash App. But guys, this next Bitcoin and crypto bull run is going to be a utility run. So you want to make sure you have the cryptos that have real utility. And much love to those who are shopping at both stores. Keep it coming. And of course, guys, we get into Bitcoin and cryptos first.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Happy Father's Day, you're not forgotten.
And I want to say happy Father's Day to all the great fathers. Yes, a lot of times we're forgotten. A lot of times we're the bad guy if you're doing your job. But that's okay, guys. Again, enjoy your day. But let's get into the actual video. We have Bitcoin and crypto slightly up. And guys, we know CME opens tonight. We know it's going to move the market. And then in the morning, once yield rates start moving, we know it's going to move the market again. So make sure you're paying attention to the actual indicators. We had yield rates on Friday. The short end was moving up, long end moving down. We have the dollar up. We have volume and crypto down right now. We have Tether and USDC. And then, of course, guys, we have the Fed. Repo at $386 billion on Friday. Took a good pullback, and we saw yield rates rise. But guys, make sure you're keeping an eye on the BOJ on Monday, because remember, they're going to be adjusting, and the BOJ is keeping not only the United States above water, but the globe. And once the BOJ starts to raise rates, there's going to be a rumble in the economy, but also them pulling back on these bond purchases is going to affect the global economy. And remember, this global economy is all about liquidity. And we're seeing around the globe, things are starting to tighten up. And we see the NWO starting to turn up the distractions. And one of those distractions, of course, is the drums are beating. But then also Trump. Trump turned it up yesterday, speaking about family. Speaking about the drums are beating, stop funding it. And then also Trump going to the hood, something that Obama never did. And that speech that he made touched everyone. I don't care what race you are, what demographic you come from. He hit every single divide and conquer subject you can think of. And we know the Hegelian dialectic works every time. And that speech will keep the sheep distracted. Yes, 90% of what he stated was facts. But guys, we know once they get into office, everything happens to change. They move towards the NWO's agenda. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Now we have the spot Bitcoin ETFs, BlackRock, Fidelity, and Grayscale all down at close. And we have JP Morgan says the majority of the 16 billion inflows for the spot Bitcoin ETF was probably sitting in an existing wallet and not new money. We definitely received new money, but a lot of that definitely was big banks and big corporations coming on in. And it wasn't by chance that the Bitcoin ETF started up so soon. Believe me, it was all planned out. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Now we have the SEC's Gary Gensler says the spot Ethereum ETF should be fully approved by September. And guys, remember, when the Bitcoin spot ETF was approved, it was ready to go that day. Why? Because that money was ready that day. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. And then lastly, guys, we have T-Mobile owner Deutsche Telekom will soon mine Bitcoin in addition to running nodes. And guys, remember, T-Mobile does not have a long history inside the United States. It maybe was back in 2001, don't hold me to that, when they bought Western Wireless. And AT&T tried to buy T-Mobile in 2011. Again, guys, don't hold me to it. But AT&T, of course, was the original Bell company. They broke it up. Those who are old know the story because we was told the story about 100 times when you were a kid. But when it comes to this wireless business, we're starting to see the same consolidation where we probably will only end up back with one or two carriers, and that's including satellite, just one or two. But we're seeing how they want us off the grids, off the towers, because of the machine takeover when it comes to the U.S. Bitcoin was under attack for all the energy, and now we have all these corporations, people like Larry Fink saying how all the energy that these data centers are going to take up, and you don't hear anything about the climate agenda. Because, guys, it's all about the fourth industrial revolution. That's why you need to stay in the lab. Yes, have a little fun this year, but we can clearly see how this world is about to change. Get your friends and family educated, so then therefore they don't fall for the devil's tricks. And remember, the crypto teacher told you, because he knows when it comes to the NWO, it's all planned out. But that's all I have for you. Don't forget about the books. Crypto Teacher and the New World Order book, plus the 3 kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get home stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing, they were still getting that free money. What are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. You know, I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Drama Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Drama Tam save New York from COVID Stories 3. Part 3. King Joshua and Drama Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.